Little pot-bellied goblins, coming after me. Gotta stab your daughter at the mall. Gotta stab your by the ocean. And then the police chief gonna say, we love our Somalis. We love our Muslims too. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet.
Nerdrotic.com.
He's home.
He appears.
It is very good to be here with you. Love your show. I see clips of it all the time.
Yes.
Good to be back with you.
It's
different
awesome
channels than on any of ours.
Yeah.
I know you.
Oh,
know you.
now you know each other.
You're that
You're
guy.
almost as sexy as I am. That's my brother right there.
Love it. No, but it's our 200th episode, and there was no better way to celebrate it than to have you on. You still are our biggest episode that we've ever had, having you on. And yeah, it's awesome, man. Look at him. He's partying. He's ready to party.
Ready to rock.
Yeah, fine. That means I don't have to turn off my camera to vape. I don't give a shit.
I'm not a secret cigarette smoker like Joe Rogan.
Well, that's fine. If you're doing cigarettes, I'm doing glue. So, this is...
We're
ramping
for like
it up.
12 years, but, stuff's so bad. We're about to have nuclear war. I said, what the hell, I'm going to start mainlining heroin tomorrow.
Oh, no.
I like
I'm joking,
this guy.
folks. That's a joke.
You recently did an interview with Blair White, and I like how you broke down like how the media will always take that where you preface something, by saying, look, this is hypothetical. And then you'll say it, and then they'll just clip you out of saying the exact thing to make you seem like you're this crazy person. And I think so many people are waking up to that's what the mainstream is out there doing to so many people.
And they do it all the time on purpose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they know what they're doing. There's so many examples of it, but it's like Trump. He never said Hispanics are terrible people. He said there are some terrible people coming across the border. Mm-hmm. And he said all Mexicans are terrible people. Where's the clip? It doesn't exist. Whether you hate Trump or love Trump or are neutral, the point is he didn't say it. They don't have the damn clip. But with me, they just take it out of context. Like I'll do a whole rant about Jonathan Swift and the famous 300-plus-year-old essay on satire he wrote that everybody's taught in school, high school and college on satire, where he said, we're going to let the Irish all starve to death because he was one of the few rich Irishmen in England. He said, well, how about we just have them breed their children and then sell them in the market and we'll just eat them. So I said, if we keep the lockdowns going, it'll cause global starvation, which it did. So now I'm going to have to eat my neighbors. So I said, this is satire. And then I knew, though, they'd cut the front off and put it out. So it's kind of like I knew what they would do, but it's very sick how they operate.
They're disingenuous. That's why we got that very short-lived ministry of misinformation. It got yeeted.
Well, here's an example. Like Blair White and I are dating. In fact, we're getting married next month. Dare them claim I'm anti-transgender when we're going out on a date tonight. She's about to have my baby. She's like 6 months pregnant right now.
Oh, God, a medical miracle.
That's a joke, folks. And I'll say this about Blair White. Blair White is super, super smart and super cool. And I don't care what people's identities are. And man, she certainly looks like a chick. And so, great. You want to do that? Do that. My deal is what's up with big, giant, fat dudes beating up people at grocery stores saying it's ma'am and, like men taking over women's sports. That's what I don't like is a bunch of crazy dudes claiming they're women and then invading women's sports. That's what I don't like.
Toxic.
Yeah.
We're so fucked.
I do think it's weird because it used to be, I feel like 10, 20 years ago, when you had someone that was transgendered, they did everything to appear like the outward appearance that they were, say it was a man that thought they were a woman, to look like a woman. That's really not the case a lot anymore.
Now they dress like It the Clown. They don't even look like a woman or a man. Yeah. It's like, what's up with the It the Clown outfits?
Because they blew up the binary. They made it into this whole non-binary BS. And so now it's, I can be whatever. And so that's why you see all of these random images with the colored hair and all these other things.
But even Bill Maher last Friday said, listen, I'm not against gay people or anybody, but you're not the center of attention. You don't take over the whole world. We don't care what you do in your bedroom. I've always been that way. But when I had Blair White on like 5 years ago, all over Twitter was trending. He claims he hates transgenders and hates gay people, but then he's being a hypocrite, being nice to one. I never said that. I said leave kids alone. Whether you're a heterosexual or whatever you are, leave the children alone.
Here's the real question: does Blair White
Ultimately,
have nice feet?
Yeah. Ultimately, it's about getting big pharma customers for life. Like top surgery is 10 grand. I heard somewhere that like over a lifetime you could spend like $1 million just on your fucking hormones and everything you have to do to transition.
It's like the South Park episode from 10 years ago where the dude wants to be a dolphin. Dude, you're not a dolphin. It's okay you want to be a dolphin. Look, if I go to the doctor and say, I want my arm cut off, they put me in a mental institution. But if I show up and say, hey, I want my ding-a-ling cut off, they go, sir, you are stunning and brave.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Ma'am,
100%.
Would you like to be on the cover of a magazine?
It's virtually the
Completely
only.
honest. I actually am a woman that transitioned to a male. And I'm actually Bill Hicks too. And I
fucking knew it.
No.
I fucking knew it.
That's how good super male vitality is.
It was the
folks.
tips. The tips when he
male
ripped your shirt off in that clip.
made me grow the largest micro penis in North America.
Oh my God.
Hey, Alex, have you seen, and this is a shout out to our boy Yellow Flash, who's kept it popular. Have you seen the indie folk song, the Alex Jones indie folk song? It's got like 9 million views on YouTube.
Of course,
like-
I love that. And I made a big
it's
mistake.
so good.
Back when it was Time Warner had some company, I forget the name, that was financing all this anti-right-wing populist videos, but it was making all the right-wing. I'm not even right-wing, but they categorized me as that, super popular.
Was it called CNN?
Yeah, exactly. So Bon Iver put it out. It had like 20 million views on, was it, I forget the name of it, like Super Deluxe or whatever it was. But the point is, then they took it down. Like when I went on air and praised it, they took it down. But he put it back on his private channel. It's got like 9 million views. But it was literally had like 80 million views on Spotify in a month last year. They took it down.
It's incredibly catchy.
And it is
Damn
so
good
good.
song.
It's
We
so
love our Somalis. We love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet.
so sweet.
Yeah.
I was watching Fox News while I was working out this morning.
I listen to that, dude. I will listen to that shit driving around, man. It's so good. I was like, man,
Oh,
I
damn
love
good.
it.
Hey, I
But
need
yeah.
to reach out to Bon Iver. He's put out a whole Alex Jones indie folk song record. I'm ready to do it.
make it
You
happen.
should totally do
You
that.
can go on
man. It would-
tour.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
You could go on tour.
It'll be the stab your daughter at the mall super special.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stab your daughter at the mall.
Mom,
Gonna stab
Mom.
your mom. Yeah.
Oh,
Your
The fact that people
the
listen to
police
that-
chief is gonna say.
Yes. The fact that people hear that and they can't understand like what the points you're trying to make is it's unbelievable to me. It's like,
The
well,
point is literal
Yes.
vampire potbelly goblins. They're hopping around and coming after us.
My spirit gets close to that, and I say, ah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was
I am
determined to ask
stoned.
you about that today, so I'm so happy that you gave us a little bit of singing on that.
Yeah,
one. Go ahead,
just
Ryan.
serenade. It
I
was
did want to
beautiful.
circle back to something that Alex had brought up earlier about, super male vitality, gave him the record-setting North American micro penis. How did Brian Stelter feel when you took that record from him?
Well, his penis, I've seen it, is over 1 millimeter long. Mine is over 2 millimeters.
Oh, as big as that on him. Wow.
It's a lot of
Well, it was a
millimeters to
big
make up.
joke last week. It was trending on Twitter as well, where I was reading mainline New York Times, Washington Post. The sperm count's down 96%. Male genitals have shrunk by 70%. Chemicals in the
no.
water. And they edit all that out and just have me going. So if your dad's was a foot long, yours is at 6 inches long. And they go, Jones is upset that he has a tiny penis. And actually, I'm proud of my tiny penis. And so I don't even know.
Are you penis shaming?
Hey, don't discriminate against me. I already told people that I took Super Bowl Vitality. I was a woman. Now I have a micro penis. So I'm gonna stop with the jokes. They did trend on Twitter. Alex Jones's penis. So let me just say, it's nothing to write home about, but it's actually quite large. Gets the job done.
Confirmed.
And if I was the dictator of the world, like the Young Turks host, I would not legalize bestiality and pleasure animals. But I'm also into women, not into animals.
Confirmed.
Now,
Now, that
that's
part
a
won't get
bigoted
clipped.
response.
That part won't get clipped.
No. What is interesting though is that as many clips that are taken out of context to put you down, I think as many of those that are put out, we're now seeing so many more memes and videos pop up of, oh, Alex Jones was right.
Yeah.
That's
That
nice
is
to
the
see,
main
too.
meme right there. Is
Yeah.
you were right 99% of the time, and it's like, you hate to see it because it sucks to be right sometimes, but you are right.
Well, all I know
the
is
time.
this: it's become definitely kind of like in World War II. They spray painted Kilgore was here, and I'm very honored that that's a major trend everywhere. He gets spray painted everywhere. Alex Jones was right, as just a way of, even though I'm not always right, but I don't lie on purpose. I've been wrong quite a bit, but I'm right probably 95% of the time, because most of the stuff I just cover is all already admitted. People then just attack me and say I made it up when it's already confirmed and not debated. But it really has become an FU to the system, and really has become the modern maxim of, I'm not with the establishment. Okay, you're going to demonize this guy. You're going to say he's the devil. You're going to say he's the worst person that ever existed on earth. Okay, well, we're going to say we back him. And people finally get that. And I want to thank Joe Rogan and people like you guys on Nerdrotic, and obviously people like Tucker Carlson and so many others that finally have got that. We've broken through. And so the black sheep designation they gave me, I never really thought about this, but it's really become my greatest honor. So yes, thank you.
No,
Yeah,
that's
you've been uncanceled.
Thank you, man.
I mean, it's terrible. And you said it, that being right, Alex Jones being right is very bad about a lot of things. And I remember a conversation I had with Jeremy. I think it was right before the election. I'm like, even if whether you're a Trump fan or not, you can see where things were going. And I told Jeremy, well, if we survive the next 4 years, it might be better for the country. Now, that's a big if, because people really need to wake up to what the system wants of us. Info wars, the term information wars. I do believe Hillary Clinton was the one who coined that. Not sure. That's the first time I heard it. And that's something we've been fighting for years before I showed up. Alex has been fighting this for years. I do it on a very small level with Disney. When they're putting out complete bullshit, they're lying to us, and they're just going, what are you going to do about it?
By the way, I wasn't blowing smoke at all you guys and the gal, because I can't remember my own name sometimes, but I watch you stuff every week. I've seen a bunch of your Disney videos. I've seen my lookalikes videos. I've seen all your videos. And so it's really great to be here. But that's exactly what you're talking about. I wish I wasn't right about all this. I was reading documents and Davos group plans and Bilderberg group plans, and the media would say it didn't exist. I would go videotape them there 20 years ago, and the media would say it didn't exist. So that was really my quest, was to prove there was this whole underground thing. Now it's all out in the open. So it's not good to be vindicated when what you were predicting was something horrible. I was trying to stop it from happening. I wasn't trying to just be proven right later.
No, you're like, the meteor is descending. We need to get out in front of this now. And of course, you were called crazy. When we call it out in entertainment, we're called bigots. I'm sure you're called that too. And hey, we got to be careful. But you see people like Russell Brand changing their tune, Bill Maher
that was
changing
real
their tune. Yeah, Joe Rogan changing his tune from 4 years ago. And it's encouraging if it's genuine. Now, I think it is from Joe Rogan and Russell Brand. Not too sure about Bill Maher. Never too sure. I think that guy's just trying to stay relevant on the right side. The pendulum is definitely swinging. I
can give you the inside baseball on Joe Rogan. I've known Joe 23 plus years, and we've partied and done a lot of wild stuff together. Before he was married and stuff, we went out and did a lot of crazy stuff and had a lot of fun since then. But Joe was always judging the world by himself. I'm a nice guy. He would project his own niceness on stuff. But it was about 3 years ago he called up, and he's talked about this on air, so I'm not. He said, look, I apologize. I thought you were crazy. I thought you were schizophrenic. I thought you were smart, but I thought it was not as bad as you were saying. He goes, now I've seen it all. I'm about to get a lot more hardcore. And he even trusted me and told me about a Spotify deal 6 months before it happened. I never told anybody about it. He was coming to Austin, and looking at houses. We were, hanging out and stuff. And so I knew 2 years ago, I'm like, Joe Rogan's about to get really hardcore. Be like, shut up. He's a sellout. You're full of crap. But no, with Joe, it was definitely a process. And the same thing, I think Russell Brand, not name dropping, but Russell Brand used to come on the show. I can't get a hold of him now. Even back when he was married to Katy Perry. And then I hung out with him some here in Austin and stuff. He told me on air that I helped wake him up. But with Rogan, it's more than that. He crossed the Rubicon when behind the scenes YouTube was calling him up, and low-level executives were trying to lecture him on what he should do and what he should say. And he kind of halfway gave in to them. And then when he did, it got 10 times worse. And he said, screw these people.
And now he's being labeled as a conservative right-wing guy, which doesn't make any sense if you actually listen to what he says.
Look, they failed to censor me because Joe Rogan is the new Alex Jones. And so it doesn't matter what they do to me now. He's out there like, hey, if you take the guns, only criminals have them. Hey, the New World Order, the Davos group's bad. Hey, Trudeau's a dictator in Canada. The training wheels are off. And it's not like Joe Rogan is getting told what to do by me, even though we talk all the time. We talk a couple times a day. He doesn't need me to tell him stuff now. I have dinner with Joe, every month or so, and he literally knows more than I do. And so most of the time now it's him sending me stuff. I probably got 10 texts a day, and he's more ahead of stuff than I am. And so it's kind of like I can relax now. I'm like, well, God, Joe Rogan knows more than I do now. I can just I can kind of sit back. So that's one of my greatest satisfactions is that Tucker Carlson's, production crew listens every day. He's told me this in person, and we have dinner sometimes, and they check out what I say, and I'm kind of laying the breadcrumbs But it's like in Full Metal Jacket when the Marine Corps officers at the end of boot camp are saying they're excited to see the troops are more aggressive and powerful than they are. They take a real, it's like now I can like, man, like these people are better than I am in many ways, more articulate, more entertaining. And so I can say that I have a real satisfaction in a lot of my work and other people's work. I just kind of popularized a lot of information that was already out there, but I was a focal point. I can now sit back like a Marine Corps drill sergeant and look at people surpassing what I ever did in their savageness.
We needed you to be out there saying the stuff that other people were afraid to say. We're afraid to be called crazy or conspiracy theorists. So other people like Joe could come back later whenever it's more safe. Like it is more safe to say now, but it's good that him, Russell Brand, even to the extent of Bill Maher, even though he's just trying to stay in the good graces of the audience.
With Maher, I think it's him realizing stay relevant. But with Joe, I want to be clear. He didn't do it because he wanted to be safe. He did it because they came in and tried to dominate him. And I think it's that human instinct of like, I didn't mess with you and now you want to pimp me? F you. And watching him dominate their ass is very refreshing. Because Joe Rogan, out of anybody, he turned the tide on the COVID narrative, man. And that's so historic. We got to give him, big props for that.
Sure. Yeah. And I think that when you look at all the people right now over the past 2 years that have come under attack from the establishment media as far right, alt right, whatever, Joe Rogan, Bill Maher's being called that now that he's stepping out, Russell Brand, Elon Musk, no way in hell Elon Musk is some kind of far right guy. We all understand that from what we've seen from him before. But when those people get labeled that, it makes everybody turn back and look at all the people like Alex Jones, who's been called these names, and they go back and they realize, well, this is just their MO. This is what they do.
And I'm glad you raised Elon Musk because I'm not going to name drop. I'm going to leave it at that. But I've met with some of the top billionaires on the planet in the last few months, and they were like, we thought you were wrong. We were compartmentalized. So I'm not bragging here, but when you say we're winning, Elon Musk is the classical liberal. He's into freedom for everybody, open society, do whatever you want, put a brain chip in your head if you want. But when they're trying to tell him what he can do and what he can say, he's like F you too. So I'm not friends with Elon Musk. I know Joe and him hang out constantly here in Austin. And I'm telling you that, yes, exactly. Elon Musk is a bigger canary in the coal mine for the awakening than the early examples that you guys brought up. And I'm glad you raised that.
Absolutely. And by the way, he just put out a memo recently telling all his workers to get their ass back to work because they were working remotely and fucking around.
Wow.
And these are the kind of things a big CEO doesn't know. It's so
he said, or go somewhere else and pretend you're working there.
Yep. It was fucking awesome. The minute he came out and started sounding even a little bit based, the government freaked out. This is 1 billion. Like one guy started speaking out and they shit themselves.
I'm glad I can cuss here. Elon Musk is going in the right fucking direction and I fucking love it. And you're absolutely right. And again, it's all because they pushed him. It's all because they messed with him.
Buy Twitter, Elon. I'm trying to make money.
Well, Alex, do you think he's actually going to own Twitter? Do you think that actually goes through? Based on where we're at.
I knew day one, just looking at myself, and I talked to some folks that work for him, he knew it was overvalued probably 3 times what it was. Probably 60% are bots and fake things. But he wants it because it's basically run by the CIA and the whole leftist thing. And so he's putting it out there in front of the shareholders. He always knew it would turn out it was mainly bots, and then he would offer a lot less for what it was worth. And so, yeah, I think he may end up taking it over. He's certainly trying.
I got to delete some DMs.
I mean, I as you can probably tell, different country that I live in. I live in Yorkshire, which is, a big rural place in the UK,
Yeah,
it's far removed from London. It's probably the complete polar opposite of what London is and London life. This is slow pace up here. It's farming, it's local pubs,
British
it's local
redneck.
people. Yeah, kind of.
It's a classy red.
No, I've been there. Beautiful, super nice people.
The women have bad teeth.
Let's not push it too far, Alex.
Okay, well, I've traveled I've been to England like 10 times. I think I love the English countryside. I love that area.
But when, I've grown up in the country, and you grow up with farming, and you grow up with people that work their fingers to the bone, and people have had a hard day, and you're going to your local pub because you're relaxing, you're chilling. And then you've got this stuff with Twitter, happening 15, 20 years later from this. And people are getting upset and crying that Elon Musk is going to take over the company. They're asking for days off for emotion, to get their emotions.
Yeah.
It's like,
link me.
Where we are, it's just like, this is fucking mental. This is absolutely fucking mental that people are just like, I need to take a personal day because some guy
No,
is.
you're right. People are shearing sheep all day and fixing hedgerows and planting crops and working their fingers. You cut themselves up, hard work.
Drinking themselves to death.
Yeah, and
Amen.
then, that's at nighttime. And my God, why not? And then these people are bitching and complaining and they always said, oh, it's a private company. But now that somebody might actually take one over and have free speech, the Democratic Party called it a threat to democracy.
Yeah,
we might actually have free speech.
The one guy, I don't know if it was on MSNBC or CNN, who essentially is sitting there crying and screaming because he's like, this means that one billionaire can control something that, I mean, maybe they can control the outcome of elections. And it's like, no fucking shit, Sherlock. Are you kidding me? That's what we've been saying for 2 years.
Welcome to the party.
And, but that's coming from the Washington Post that's owned by Bezos.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, I don't know
another
why
billionaire.
everybody's worried about Biden. He's doing great. Didn't you see him shake hands with Superman recently?
I've seen Biden do a lot of things that Biden thinks he did. That's for sure. But yeah, it is. I mean, we're in a disaster right now. But I think that's to Gary's point that he was making earlier. Like this 4 years, I think if anything's going to wake up people that are in the middle that don't pay attention to this stuff like we do, this is it. When they have to pay $4, $5, $6 a gallon for gas.
And I'm just being a chauvinist pig. I want to hear what these beautiful ladies have to say.
Well, X-Ray Girl's only allowed 10 words per episode, so you know.
I used 6 already. I'm done.
Yeah.
X-Ray Girl, you've done a great job. I'll give you 10 more words.
I have been laser focused on Chrissy Mayr's cleavage, I will admit.
Thank you. I wore a push-up bra for episode 200.
God bless America.
I feel like I should have done the same.
X-Ray Girl, do you have any questions for Alex Jones?
What's your favorite color?
Do you like small dogs?
You watch The
Do
Bachelor.
you like small dogs? I have a small dog somewhere.
I do. Do I like small dogs?
Yes.
I do have a French bulldog. Yes.
There we go.
I've got a question for X-Ray Girl. What do you think of Justin Trudeau? Because she's from Canada.
Oh, he's literally the worst. I don't like him. I want him gone.
Yeah,
Alex, what do you make of all? I guess we've seen a lot of reports of different food processing companies or food processing plants being like, it's what seems like systematically burnt down, like 12 to 15 just in the last 6 months. What do you make of that? Is that a big distraction? You know, there's also this fear that like our guns are being taken away, but meanwhile, there were 1 million guns sold just in the month of May. So how do you make sense of, I guess, both of those things?
Well, I think the girls are asking the best questions here. I mean, that's absolutely true. It's more like 50 food processing plants. A couple of burned up this week. One of the biggest egg processing plants. You have Biden ordering Abbott Foods, the main baby food manufacturer, to shut down, and 2 others. This is all part of economic war. Some of these might be on accident, but they've had insurance company actuaries out. This is 1 in a million that you would have this many facilities burning up. And so I think it's all part of the deindustrialization Great Reset program, undoubtedly.
If you want to cause strife, right? If you want to cause everyday American strife, you do things like make their groceries more expensive. You do things like make it unavailable or highly expensive for them to buy baby formula. In what universe should another country, a foreign country, be sending us baby formula because we need it? That's stuff that we do for like third world countries. Like that's how bad it's gotten. And it's tough to look at everything and not say that there's something behind it.
Well, now it's our turn. Now it's time for countries to send us shit. We're fucking struggling now.
I want $40 billion from Ukraine right now from that Zelensky guy.
Isn't it funny how when there's something going on where a government is encouraging on people's rights over in Europe, we advocate sending them guns and arming the population. And for some reason here, we want the opposite. The government wants the opposite for our citizens. Interesting. We're getting
that's right. Send them anti-tank weapons, send them anti-aircraft weapons, hand out millions of M16s. But oh my God, can't have guns here. And when somebody else does something wrong, all of us are to blame for it. But it was like, you guys were talking about just a few days ago. I saw part of the show. I mean, it's retarded. Are we going to ban hammers because somebody uses a hammer or a baseball bat? Yeah. Everybody knows they want to disarm us for control. They want to disband the police. Not the police are perfect, so that there's absolute lawlessness. It's called the Cloward and Piven strategy the Democratic Party came up with in the 1960s. Collapse the system to bring in their communist system. It's that simple.
And we don't even have the most gun deaths. Brazil has more gun deaths than the U.S. does every year.
You're right. So does Mexico. So does Venezuela per capita. They have more gun deaths, even than U.S. blue cities, because it's total lawlessness. That's why Bolsonaro is trying to put in a Second Amendment there.
It's so different because they'll point to different, like, oh, look at this place in Europe that has barely any gun deaths, where it's not comparable geographically, it's not comparable population wise.
And then they have 20 times the stabbing deaths.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll find something else.
Somalia.
I heard
Somalia.
stabbing deaths.
Right.
I thought
I mean-
somebody was talking about the UK for a second there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got all excited.
We have seen these policies play out. We've seen these policies play out in blue cities, in huge cities. And ironically enough, when you take the violence, when you take those cities and factor that out of America, we're one of the fewest gun deaths in the entire world.
That's right. Let me
Because
ask you
it's a blue
guys this
city
question.
problem.
If you take the blue cities out, you're right. What are they going to do with Biden? Because they knew he was brain dead and they controlled him and he was a puppet. They could blame him for what they did. But he is such an embarrassment. Even they're turning against him with 150 days out from the midterms and, 2+ years out from the general election. What is the system going to do? Because Kamala is almost more brain dead than him.
She's
Yeah,
terrible.
There's that
it's gonna be
civil war in the party, right? Because we've got the establishment people who are about 85 years old each on average, worried about the AOC commie part that they know will turn off America. So I don't know. I think there's no way Biden could go up for re-election.
I think we're looking at Trump
They have
Hillary
to.
again. That's what I think we're
Oof.
looking at.
Sure.
But I would like to know
What else
what
do they
Alex,
have?
who do you think is the Republican nominee in 2024? Do you think Trump's running?
Oh, yeah, he's running. He's told
Yeah.
people that I talked to. I had his lawyer on today, and I talked to Roger Stone, has dinner with him all the time.
What about
And,
DeSantis?
I mean, I like DeSantis overall, but I'm just telling you, Trump is running. So
Yeah.
everybody should, that's why they're trying to disqualify MTG. That's why they're trying to disqualify all these Republicans under the 14th Amendment, is to set the precedent to disqualify Trump. So again, we're kooks because we say there's election fraud, or might be, our right to question, but then they want to disqualify candidates at the very base level of stopping who you want to vote for. I mean, that's election meddling to ban candidates. The Democrats are trying to disqualify 25 members of Congress right now and Trump. That's outrageous.
Yeah.
I say the one thing that he'd have to do to come back in and just start running is come in on the fact that we get suppressed every day on the internet. That he got suppressed. He's got to use that as his talking point, because he did the build the wall, which is great. I respect that. I like what he did, but he did not do anything to stop suppression on the internet, and that's what ultimately got him kicked off. So if he comes out saying that, number one, that's winning.
I think Trump should run on the open borders and inflation, because everybody sees that and knows that. And I think the Republicans should try to impeach Biden, even though they don't have the votes, to change the subject from January 6th and KKK made up BS and exaggerated and hyped up mass shootings that are tragedies, but are still statistically very, very rare. They have a duty to go after that. But regardless, Trump needs to come out, I agree, and say, I was wrong. I should have pushed more against censorship. This is terrible, silencing the American people. Open borders need to stop. The crime, the human smuggling, the inflation needs to stop. We need to reopen the Keystone Pipeline, the thousands of other side pipelines they shut down, reopen the drilling permits. He needs to run on that, and he needs to be hammering that now, because America needs relief at this point. That's what America needs. And so I hope that Trump will get on that message. The biggest thing hurting Trump with my listeners everywhere I go is they held the country hostage with COVID. We get normal vaccines aren't bad or whatever most of the time. The point is that they actually work. They may have some side effects, but you take something, you're good for 10 years, you have learned immunity. Gene therapy is not a vaccine. And so Trump got behind warp speed, and with his listeners, his supporters, his constituents, they're really pissed about that. And so if he would just shut up and stop bragging about warp speed when he did, that would be a big boon to Trump. I think his biggest weakness is he keeps pushing that.
You're 1,000% right. It's his fucking ego. His ego can't
that's what I was gonna
take
say.
credit for it. Sorry, Jeremy.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, as a Trump guy, and I'm not saying his ego is a bad thing. His ego is a good thing. It's what's made him who he is.
I agree.
But
It's
his
good
ego-
when it's working
yeah,
for us.
right,
It's good when it's working for us.
Yeah. But his ego is the reason he cannot stop talking about this nonsense with Operation Warp Speed and all of that. And he has to realize that it's not landing for his supporters. And if it's not landing for his supporters, your whole point is to try and grow from where you are. So take care of your base and then look at what is affecting the normal Americans out there. You got your base. Stop losing your base and then worry about what is affecting the people in the middle that you can win over.
When the Democrats got cultically behind the shots and mask, then Republicans totally turned against it. So doesn't he see that?
My question is, Alex, do you
complain
still have
about.
contact with him? Can you not talk to him? Do you have contact with him on that level?
You know, I don't want to say that I'm past things or over things, but, you know, Trump's called me quite a bit over the years. And I like Trump, but it's not a relationship where he's listening to me. It's one way and, oh, aren't you great? Man, you're really a real man. We really appreciate you. He's called my wife before. And she's like, hey, Trump just called me and said how great you are. And he's a nice guy because he thinks the average guy wants the president to call his wife and tell him how great he is. And I'm not trying to name drop. That's happened repeatedly.
I mean, that'd be nice.
So, yeah, but it's like I'm a constituent instead of I want to actually talk to him. So I've been invited to Mar-a-Lago and things like that. And I haven't gone because I don't want to stand in line and go to a dinner and eat a steak and talk to Trump for 2 minutes and like, you've been good. Here's your pat on the head. I like Trump, but I'd rather be fishing or hiking or hanging out with my children and my wife. And so it's just like he was the president. He's a great guy, but I'm not like star fucking him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I
Well, I
hear
think
you,
that's
brother.
Ryan's always made that point about, you know, and a lot of people have, but, you know, obviously I talk to Ryan all the time about the people that Trump surrounds himself with. It's almost like it's just a lot of people that he's not getting good information because there's no way that Trump can know everything about everything going on. So when you're at that level, you need to have good people feeding you good information. And it seems like there might be people that are feeding him.
Well,
their
exactly.
agenda at
Look, when I
times.
was a freshman in high school and they let us into prom and I went and thought it was cool. By the time I was a junior, I wasn't there. I was dating college girls. Okay, so it's like going to Mar-a-Lago and Trump is like you're in a beauty pageant. It's like literally people. It's like I've taken cruises before. They're fun, but I don't dress up in a, you know. By the way, I like her tuxedo. I'm gonna put it down because this is important. This show's important. But I don't dress up in a tuxedo to go eat at the, you know, lounge at the cruise ship. And so what I'm saying is it's more like being in the in club with Trump, which is not bad. And I get he used to sell people, you know, condos and stuff, but it's just, it has this, I like what he does, but I just don't like all the weirdness. That, you know, that's what I'm saying.
It's like schlocky. It's like
I have a big
prom.
question for you, Alex. When is the Alex Jones ticket gonna happen? Okay, because I need to know when I can vote for you.
I want Speaker of the House.
Well, it's going to happen when hell. It's
what
going to happen when
cabinet
hell freezes over.
I mean,
Yeah, there
I
goes
think
my job.
honestly, I think we could get an Alex Jones salty cracker ticket, and I think that's a winning ticket.
That's
right
a winning
there.
ticket.
Yeah,
I know the
where's
chat's
Salty Cracker?
Yeah, I know. I mentioned it because I know Salty could go crazy if you mentioned him. So yeah, we need to get Salty on here. Shout out to the Salty Army. I would love to see an Alex Jones salty cracker ticket. I think that's a winning ticket right there, Alex.
By the way, I was joking about dating Blair White, but I am dating Salty Cracker.
Time for Pride Month.
I love his beard. And I just comb it for hours.
Just something to hold on to as well, you know.
Well, exactly. So
I'm jealous because I'm currently dating Amber Heard and she just shits in the bed
Oh my god, she's shitty at relationships.
Sorry to hear
every
that.
morning. Fucking
Every
turds
morning.
everywhere, man. I open up the cereal box, fucking turd in it. You know, oh, fuck's sake. Milk
on your desk.
turd.
hey, you put down the English countryside. I'm telling you,
I
have you
put
seen?
it
You know,
down. I love the English countryside.
well, you
I'm
said don't.
a rural boy. I'm been
You
a
said-
old
you
rural
said
boy.
don't
all
build
my
it up
life.
too
This
much.
guy never leaves his house. You kidding me?
No, we like to argue with each other. That's why. When he said the lovely people, no, we like to argue with each other.
I wouldn't leave my house if I was worried about getting stabbed by a Somali refugee either. So I get it, as.
Oh, that's London. Don't worry, that's just London.
No, but I've read about
not
some of
Yorkshire.
the, like in Italy and Germany and places, they'll have a village of like 400 people. They'll put like 2,000, quote, migrants in there running around stabbing and killing everybody. Can you imagine what that's like? I mean, that's just insane.
You remember the pamphlets they handed out, like trying to educate people about not raping?
Yes.
Oh my
I forget
God.
which country that was in
I thought
Europe.
it was
was Germany.
DC. Wasn't that DC Comics, Ryan?
Wait, they're not dumping the, quote, migrants at Martha's Vineyard at Obama's house.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in the Hamptons.
Well, so do you think there's a possibility Hillary is going to try to run in 2024?
Ugh.
Yeah, I think she's arrogant enough too, and she's got a big stay behind network of operatives of hers.
Because, like you
inside
said,
government.
there's like Biden. Obviously, he's not, and then Kamala's probably worse. So,
Well, it
who's
sets the
other
precedent.
prominent-
I mean, if you're going to have a shriveled, demonic, mentally ill drug addict, why
Oh,
not have
God
Hillary?
help us.
That
You
was my
can't say
favorite part
anything
was the
bad
dance.
about Hillary on YouTube. I got a strike for it.
You did?
Oh.
You're
Oh,
lucky
they-
you're still alive.
I
Yeah, I
know,
heard that.
seriously.
I heard
Surprised
that.
you didn't
I just
suicide
said
yourself.
Hillary Clinton looks like she's drunk as fuck as she passed out next to a car. And my God, did YouTube swoop in?
What'd
Whatever
look
you
like,
do,
Gundam?
don't talk about Nancy Pelosi's husband.
I love that
Uh-oh.
guy. He's great.
He definitely did not get a DUI.
I don't even blame him. How do you not go through life married to Nancy Pelosi and not
It'd
just
be
be
a
drunk as fuck?
Waste
all the
hardcore
time?
drug.
It's a requirement.
That
So
is
let me
true.
ask the ladies this and everybody else. I'm sorry, I misgendered people, but let me ask Brian Stelter this.
It happens often.
What is Biden and the deep state going to do when everybody hates him, everybody's turning against him, none of their fake narratives is working? What are they going to do with 158 days out from the midterms?
Call you a racist.
Calling the extra
well,
mail-in
we're seeing-
ballots, I guess.
We're
I think
seeing
we're
it
set
right
for another
now.
summer of love for sure. Because obviously you get that type of narrative out
Mhm.
there, and that pulls people's attention. There's gonna be something major that's gonna happen, and I don't know what that is, and I hate to speculate about other things that might have been manufactured over the past couple of
Yeah,
years.
they're gonna up
'cause,
the
it is YouTube,
shootings,
so I'll be
for
careful.
sure.
But
A lot of these things are manufactured like the Disney Star Wars racism manufacturer. It's something that did happen. I'm sure there are 3 people out there that said some racist things in a DM.
It
but
was
to
Ryan.
take
And they
them
think people
and
are going
blow
to tune
them up.
into Obi-Wan Kenobi's stupid
Right.
show. No, people
It's
are
the same
sick
play.
of it.
well, that's
the
why we
same
brought you
play.
on. The audience wants a full breakdown of your thoughts on Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
Alex.
yeah.
Oh, this should be good.
And I'm just going to throw this out there, Alex, but there is a spot to review Gotham Knights with me if you want it. I'm just saying.
Ooh.
What is Gotham Knights?
What That is the
Exactly.
correct question. Correct.
I
What
have
is
a
Gotham
question.
Knights? Correct.
Here's the most important question I can ask Alex. Have you and will you play Mario Kart with us at any point in time in the future on Geeks and Gamers? So,
Yeah, if I had a console to play it, I played
I
it
will
years
buy
ago.
you one
Send it to
right
you.
now, and I will drive it and hand it to you. That has been highly requested for our Mario Kart streams.
He will cry.
I will play
butterfly
Mario
ears.
Kart whenever you want.
There you
Done.
Damn, there
Done.
it is.
I will be in
You heard it.
contact. I'll be in
Christmas
contact.
came early.
So-
There it is.
Oh.
Between the smile and the hair, Jeremy looks completely
Yeah, I
unrecognizable.
mean, this is the first
today.
time I haven't had a hat on in I think since my 100,000 live stream, which the internet still thinks I'm bald, but
Ryan,
I'm
are
not.
you saying he looks like a rapist going to court?
No, not
Gentlemen,
a, not
I'm
a
going to
rapist.
apologize.
I'm
But
saying
I do want to talk to the ladies here. Ladies, ladies, how are you? How are you ladies
Hi,
doing?
Alex.
I'm good. I'm good.
There's
What if
some
we
full
identified
screens.
as
Make the ladies
women?
full screen.
What if we-
So,
what if-
how did you ladies?
Let's make a
How did you
separate
ladies
room.
fall in with these guys?
Yeah,
are you two?
I'm a toxic alt-right stand-up comic, so it was only natural. Yeah, Alex, I remember I was at the November and December and January 6th, all in DC, and I don't know if it was November or December that I think I was marching a good 10 feet away from you, and I was like, oh my god, it's Alex. But I named my stand-up comedy album Live from January 6th, so I'm very toxic and very alt-right.
Well,
Well,
that's
she fits
awesome.
right in.
Tell me
Yeah.
more about that.
Oh, it's on. I should send you a copy.
Plug away.
Super
Plug
fun.
away.
Yeah. Live from January 6th on Amazon and iTunes, and I'm touring now. I just did a bunch of shows out in Illinois, and just gonna keep it going.
So let me guess. Is it stuff that's not politically correct? Is pretty hot right now in the comedy
Oh
curve?
yeah, I think
Very
I have a
much so.
track called "Biden is retarded." So
Oh
Yeah.
God, we're
Fuck
fucked.
the banger.
How long
It's a
did it?
banger.
How long did it top the charts there, Chrissy?
well, like 11 days on #1 for iTunes and Amazon, which is
There you go.
It's a big deal to get it for one day, so I think I just got lucky.
You've been
Yeah.
killing it. You've been crushing it.
Oh,
It,
shucks,
it
thanks,
wasn't luck.
guys.
It was a lot of people supporting you.
Well, yes, it
with
helps that I
Fumble.
can promote the album on places like InfoWars. I was on Owen's show and of course here on FNT. So I have good people.
We need to get you on my show. And this
Ooh,
other
yeah.
lovely damsel.
I'm toxic, but in another way. I actually do X-rays in real life. Thus the name. I married a guy who works. I don't know where Jeremy is. I guess up here.
I'm right here.
And I apparently am good at being organized. Thank you, university. And then I started
An
working
Asian
for-
heritage.
Yeah,
And being
Yeah.
Asian.
Sorry, Gary. I think
So-
it's
We
Gary.
also
her-
bought her on the
yeah.
open market.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a mail order.
I needed somebody to do math for me. That's why I hired her.
yes, pretty much.
And then now Salty Cracker's not here because I broke up with him last week.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
Back on the
very
market.
That started and ended too quickly.
I heard
know it is.
AOC was into white dudes, Alex. So you're okay, man.
And the gingers.
Yeah, you need the red hair to go with it.
I like ladies, you know, I'm married, but I like ladies of all stripes, but she's a little too skinny for my taste, but
Who,
not
me?
that Salty Cracker.
Oh,
Amazing
it's-
booty.
He's very thick.
I've been ravaging Salty Cracker's booty.
Watch your sodium intake.
So
Motorboat.
what's the next chapter for you, Alex, moving forward? Are you gonna try to start getting ruffling feathers over the next couple of years, considering everything going on, so you can, because I know you talked about on Blair White, you know how to get that traction. It's just that it causes a lot of problems when you do it, but you know how to do it. Are you what's your plan for the next couple of years with everything going on?
I've been on there 28 years, since I was 20. I'm 48 now. And, I got a great crew, and we're old school. People ask, well, why is there 14 minutes of ads an hour on your show? Well, we're on over 350 radio stations, over 100 TV and cable stations free to air. So that's what's on those 14 minutes ads. It's like commercial TV. And so they tried to cancel us 4 years ago. They couldn't because we had that big base that we could push back to Infowars.com and our own video site that gets about 5 million views a day or more, band.video. And so we're just going to keep promoting freedom and moving forward because our stock's only gone up as everything we talked about comes true. I mean, I wish we weren't being vindicated. I wish we could have stopped it, but I'm just here talking to great folks like you and covering all the angles, covering all the issues and exposing, the system as best we can.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think you're an important piece of this puzzle. That's for sure, as you always have been. And it's just going to be crazy to see what happens. And I can't wait for some of the memes to come out of it. Are you happy that you are one of the #1 memed people on the internet? Do you take pride in that?
Well, on our wedding night, me and Salty Cracker, he just told me, he said, the proudest thing I am of is when my husband is the most memed. We were dressed as gay frogs at our wedding. And
Hey, Pepe's. Alex, so there's a couple of what ifs. So what if Elon gets Twitter? What if he lets you back on? Do you go back on? That's something
I would leave Salty Cracker for Elon Musk.
I would too.
Well, I mean, Elon's already offered me a prenup. It's Gay Pride Month. $1 billion as our sign-up fee. Let me stop the jokes. Go back. What was the serious question?
Would you go back to Twitter if you were allowed back on?
Yeah, I was never really good at Twitter. I would just send links out and people go, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be witty. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll try that. But I'd go back to Twitter. I think Trump, when Elon said, if I take over Twitter a month ago, I'll bring Trump back. So I'm like, I'm on Truth Social. He'd only done one post on there in like 6 months. Nothing against Trump, but no, Trump, you use Twitter to push him to Truth Social.
Yeah.
So of course I would come back on Twitter in a moment.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just to remind the audience, because some people might not know, Alex was taken off of every social media platform all at once. It was collusion. That's illegal, by the way. And it was over a statement that I wouldn't say was even as bad as what Ethan Klein just got a week suspension for.
A slap on the wrist.
Yep. Yeah.
I woke up at like 5 a.m. like I always do 4 years ago, and my phone was ringing and my inbox was full, and it was Tim Cook going, we just had our meeting at 3 a.m. We have every Sunday evening, which was a Monday morning, and we'd all decided he's banned. And it was like, you're off LinkedIn, you're off Roku, you're off like 70 plus things in one day because they said so. And then the bank calls up a week later. Yeah, you can't have a bank here. I've had a bank with you 20 years. I have perfect credit with you. And they're like, sorry. So talk about a mafia, talk about a social credit score, talk about dangerous. Yeah. What happened to me, I knew was the model for everybody else, but now it's been proven it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, they took down the whole of Parler.
Yeah.
And that was a collusion effort. So, that was as soon as they're like, oh, if you want to speak your own things, you go somewhere else. And so people, then Parler springs up and people start moving to it. And then like, no, actually, no, you need to be.
We didn't mean in a functional way.
The division, we need to have the arguments.
Yeah, something Alex has been trying to call it for decades, this thing called central power. It's really fucking dangerous. And when you have big tech, the government, big Hollywood, everything agreeing, that's bad. There's supposed to be competing organizations, especially within big tech and Hollywood. When you see corporations agreeing with each other, we're in a very bad place. This constant fight against waking up the normie, right? Because I know a lot of us get fucking frustrated and want to just say they're the bane of all existence, but they're not. They're people we have to kind of coddle and bring in because they're busy. They can't pay attention to this shit all the time. So that's why it's good we have Alex, who's been on the front lines forever, by the way, and more of us are coming out there. And that's the one thing the media can't compete with as long as these platforms are still around, that they can unplug any moment.
And by the way, I've got an InfoWars story for you, because one of you said earlier, Hillary Clinton coined the term InfoWars. And I think the 2016 election, she did kind of popularize it in that wave. But people always ask me, how did I get the term for information warfare, for propaganda, whether it be good or bad? Propaganda just means propagate. So does it mean bad or good? There's black propaganda that's lies, gray propaganda that's ambiguous, and white propaganda, that's the truth. Like freedom's a good thing. That's not lying. Freedom's good. Water's good, air's good, owning your own property, being free is good. That's me promoting things like that. Is not something that's deceptive. It's called white propaganda. But I was never hooked into any intelligence agencies. I never was, funded secretly by big shadowy groups. But I did have Vic Vreeland, who was the deputy fire chief in Austin, Texas in like 1996. And I was on local talk radio, but on Access TV a couple of years. We would hang out and eat dinner. He's like super old, won't come on the show now. He's like 90 years old, but he was in Air Force intelligence. And he said, what you're doing is information warfare. Let's go register you a website. So we're looking at all these websites. I go, what about information warfare? He goes, oh, that'll be taken. So InfoWar was taken by some security company, but InfoWars was not. And so that was an intelligence operative, a patriot that created the name InfoWars or picked that URL. And back then it wasn't being used. And so that's where InfoWars comes from.
Wow.
It's such a great name too. And it's to the point where the media, because they know that there is an information war out there, even if they're trying to say it from their perspective, they won't say information war or info war because they can't, because they're just going to be promoting Alex. It's genius. It's an excellent name. So
exactly. But I didn't come up with that. All the credit goes there to Vic Vreeland. But I was lucky. As soon as I got on air, I got a local radio show that became #1, and then I got a small syndicator. And so immediately, we're talking like 24 years old, I was on over 100 stations. And so then suddenly I had like Ted Gunderson, former, head of the FBI in LA, and General Benton K. Parton, head of the Air Force. And these guys were trying to get on any show they could, and I got to meet them. They came here, and I met all these incredible people that have been on the inside who then educated me. So I got a huge infusion of all that knowledge very, very early. So the stuff I come up with, I didn't come up with almost any of it. It came from me from like old timers, because I got in the arena and was promoting freedom. They came to me, and then I got really educated.
Alex, at the studio, there is a framed YouTube, I think, golden button for 1 million subs. Did you take part in shooting that up?
I did. Is there anybody in the control room? The lights are off. I can't tell.
No, I did.
Somebody can grab that off the wall out there. Yeah, I saw a shadow.
Yeah, it's
Awesome. Brilliant.
It looks dope.
Yeah, go ahead and set it right in front. Right in front. Thank you, sir. You're right in front. Right. Yeah, thank you, Wes. So there awesome. It is. Maybe if we can cut one of the cameras, we'll do that. Yeah. But yeah, we shot this thing up. But I got the idea from Steven Crowder, because I was at his office a couple of years ago in the bathroom. They've got his 5 million subs when shot up with a gun too.
Yeah, that was awesome. We blew that one up too. We got some, what is that, Tannerite?
Yeah, Tannerite.
It was awesome.
Damn.
I gotta go shoot mine.
That is need a studio like that someday. Maybe 5 more years. Yeah.
Big screens.
Yeah, this studio's a panty dropper, isn't it?
My panties
is that how you score salty
Let
cracker?
me tell you, salty cracker.
Panties are dropped.
And listen, I have a skeleton crew, but I'm gonna get up. We'll go back to the close shot. I'm gonna hold this up. It's gonna happen right now.
He's gonna walk over and kick it. He set it on fire.
Oh, look at Chrissy. Looks nice.
Thank you. Someone said I look like a DC escort, so thank you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you look like you're about to blackmail
That is
a
very
Yeah, can we put her on full screen, please?
I love how D-Day Cobra was trying to play fucking Mario Kart with Alex Jones, and he just switches from the sausage party to Chrissy Mayer so quick. Yeah, that's all well and good. How about her?
Wow. Way
Got a
bigger than
techno
100.
crane?
That's
They're
bigger than
building this up too
100,000
big.
one.
I'm grabbing it. I'm not doing this anymore.
Grab it. Do it yourself, guys.
It's much work, dude.
Oh my god.
So somebody's getting fired.
Minute.
It's heavy. There really are like 2 people working there.
There's
Oh,
one person
wow.
in the control room.
That is
Yeah.
We're
bigger
not
than
gonna screw around
100,000
anymore.
one.
It's
For
big.
oh, wow.
There you go.
The glass broke and
Beautiful.
everything. It's
There you
beautiful.
go.
Yes.
There we
Holy
go.
shit.
Wow.
Look at that. That's
Let me tell you how
badass.
badass this is.
You can look
We
through
were
it.
shooting it with like AK-47 rounds, and those are the ones that didn't go through. This thing is like armored plate that that
Yeah, dude.
that the freaking Transformers could use. So we finally started shooting with 308s and stuff to put holes in it. So look at all those ones that bounced off. See
Holy
those?
crap.
Yeah.
That's
Dang.
back when YouTube
Wow.
gave a shit.
That is awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not just particle board like the new
Wow.
ones.
Wow, that's cool.
That's awesome.
That arrives
is
to you
badass.
I
framed
just
like
found
that.
the 100K
This
one.
is
and I was
why
tidying
we-
up today. But, yeah.
This is why we need AR-15 so we can shoot through all our YouTube play buttons.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You
That's
could
right.
sneeze
But
through the
let me
Is that
show
an
you
assault
something.
weapon?
Let me show you something even cooler. Let me show you something even cooler. I'll be right back.
All right.
If somebody
Uh-oh.
could send me a knife for the UK, and I'll just stab mine.
We'll get you a spoon, buddy.
Uh-oh.
So this right here is the original Charlie Sheen Red Dawn jacket he wore in Red Dawn.
Oh.
It's on the cover. He gave me this like 15 years
Can't
ago.
tell.
It hangs on the wall out there. And Millis, the famous director that did the Dirty Harry stuff, his daughter is a great patriot. She put out some of the big films exposing Russiagate. This is the original jacket from Red Dawn.
Nice.
So you don't get that every day.
That is
No.
crazy.
That is badass right there.
I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to give you a close shot right now.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
John,
Look at this
John
man.
Milius.
Working man.
Bring that boom in here.
Look at that.
There you go.
There we
Hey.
go.
Uh,
Hell
There you go
yeah.
now. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, slow
smell it.
pan.
Kind of
yeah.
overbuilding it here, but all right. I'm just gonna hold it up to the camera.
Charlie leave a bag of cocaine in the pocket of that by any
Yeah,
chance?
check. You check all the
I
pockets.
would
Tiger
check for
blood,
that.
you know.
But I'm gonna give you the close shot. Sorry, we're good. We're done.
The rest of the show should just be Alex running around the
Pretty
desk.
tiger blood on it.
Oh my god.
The rest of the show is just Alex picking up stuff in the studio.
Yeah.
This is how I'm gonna pick this globe up.
Alex, do you have any Lego that you can show?
Does it come with 7-gram rocks?
Yeah, it probably should.
This is awesome.
I'm
Don't
kinda-
drop
I'm
it,
kinda-
Alex.
Looks
Don't
heavy.
drop
This
it.
is historic, so you know.
Stand up.
I'm getting
No,
excited
no,
just
no,
looking at
no,
that
no,
case.
no,
That
no,
that's
no,
a nice
Get a
case.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
There we go.
Holy shit.
Holy
Sweet.
Maybe they can zoom that camera out. No, Carol can't do that
I
either.
wonder how much it would retail.
Smash it. We can probably do that.
The bottom of the
There
jacket.
you
looks
go.
great.
There we
Ah,
go.
That's a
Dude.
very historic Red Dawn jacket right there.
That is badass.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Look at
Nice.
the effort Alex is going through to make sure that we
I
get it
know.
from every possible
Look at
angle.
that.
That's amazing.
When Red
That
Dawn
is-
came out, there was, I mean, a lot of us thought that could actually happen. Like that was a thing that we thought could happen in our country. Get invaded by, Cuba and Russia.
Instead, we got
Hot
invaded by a bunch of fentanyl addicts.
Long game. It's a long game.
Alex,
Hey,
have you
you-
seen the new Top Gun? Maverick?
Everything's going to robots flying planes, so it's kind of like watching a show about horse and buggies. But I hear it's good. It's just watching Tom Cruise do
fantastic.
that fake smile.
Yeah, it's
It's really good.
it's really good, and a lot of practical effects in this movie.
Great
a lot,
movie.
and
A lot
that's-
of men with
that's-
their shirts off.
We don't get a lot of opportunity to say that in current Hollywood. This is a really good movie.
Man, you
Really
and
good
you and
Just
Salty should
confirmed.
go on a date night and see it.
Yeah.
Tell me,
That's right.
tell me why it's so good.
Well, basically, it's not scared to be patriotic. It's also not scared to just tell you a good story based on the pre-existing franchise that existed, and it's not trying to push any new diverse character or trying to tell you that the old
Not
washed-up
woke.
white guy isn't good anymore. It's heroic. It calls
It's
back
a
to the original.
nostalgia. Back when humans flew jets instead of AI
Yes.
death machines.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
There's
it does.
nostalgia and there's just respecting what came before it, and almost like a simple type of storytelling, like back in like 80s and 90s action type movies. It just kind of all coalesced and is really good.
Hey, everybody
You know-
I know says it's great, so I'm gonna have to go
Return
see
to
it.
form.
Oh, I have a question. As far as like corporatism and what we've been seeing, like kind of corporations doing the bidding of the government, do you see that getting worse, or do you see, as more people are waking up, do you see that getting better at all?
I see people waking up to it, but I see it getting worse because the central banks have printed themselves quadrillions in fake money, and so they've got unlimited money to shovel to try to sell their propaganda. But I only see it backfiring.
Susan Wojcicki already asked the government to put out laws so they can enforce them for censorship and freedom of speech on YouTube. It doesn't look good.
What do you think
Well, I
the
think the
breaking
worm
point
has
is?
turned. I mean, what do you ladies think?
You simp.
Sorry, I'm working on something.
It does feel hopeless sometimes because you do have these moments of like, I'm just one person. I'm like, I'm not rich or influential. What can I do? So
I get high.
yeah.
But the difference is people are hungry for authenticity and they're hungry for reality. And they're hungry for women being women, men being men. And we're tolerant of other people, but we're not going to follow their weird paradigm that corporate America wants us to have, just as an exercise of can we program people to cut their 5-year-olds' genitals off?
It's almost becoming a trend right now to push back against the establishment. That's the way everything's swinging right now. More people are seeing it, not just corporations, but the mainstream media, establishment politicians on both sides of the political aisle. There is an awakening where people do realize, and more people are catching on day after day. So the more people that wake up, the tighter they're going to clench the fist.
I agree. Who's this guy down here in the dark purple room? We haven't talked to him.
Hey,
Is
Alex,
that
how's
Rob
it going,
Zombie?
man? No, I'm comics
Ray
division. How you
Charles.
doing, Alex?
It's White Ray Charles.
Rob, I'm a huge fan of your first albums with White Zombie.
Could you give us a few bars?
Yeah.
You've also done some great covers like Children of the Damned, the Elvis. Oh, man, what a talent.
Anytime to do it, it would be nice.
It's over 9,000.
Just say like blacktop. Finally, nothing matters. High noon. A concrete fascination.
It's been such a
Screaming
long
to
time
the
since I've
edge of
listened to
nothing.
White Zombie. I can't even recite the lyrics anymore. It's
Dig
kind
through
of
the
sad.
ditches, burn through the
Is
witches.
Black sunshine.
This is Black Sunshine.
Shine, shine, shine.
Literal vampire potbelly goblins.
I'd love to hear White Zombie cover that. Literal potbelly goblins! Holla, coming after me! Gotta stab your daughter at the mall! Gotta stab your mother, the ocean! And then the police chief gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims too. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. Let's just up the ratings tonight. I'm a very misogynistic. I'm a bad person.
Thanks.
Let's all take our shirts off, including the ladies right now.
First,
You know
Okay.
what? Jones is on it. You got to listen
You guys
to him,
ready?
Chrissy.
You ready, ladies?
He's leading the charge. Follow.
We're going to start an
Holy shit.
OnlyFans account.
That was
Yeah.
a value.
How about we play strip poker?
Okay.
If you started OnlyFans, how quick would you get fucking banned?
All the men can just leave the building now, okay?
that's fine.
Guy in the control room, leave.
Right. Nobody took my bet up.
They're already gone.
That's
Hey,
got
if
his.
I don't start this, nobody is.
How dare you do it
Oh
too?
my
He's
God.
launching his new website, Only Jones.
Black.
Oh my god!
Don't think, just do.
Yes,
Not the
guys.
guys.
Yeah.
Not the guys.
Yeah, he said not the guys.
No, too late.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they practically
Do
had
it.
this
Do
kicked
it.
off anyway.
God
Do it.
damn
It's
it.
hot in here. Anyway.
Extra go,
I
you
already
go.
have a pants
Stand up
on.
into the ocean.
Fucking
tonight.
hot.
I'm gonna wear your favorite
No.
thing.
Oh my God! It's
X-ray
wearing
girls putting
underpants.
on
Yeah, let's do it.
clothes.
Take those clothes up, X-ray.
I
What are
don't
you
think I
doing?
can do-
Oh, no.
This is
I'll,
not
I'll,
going
I'll
the way
take it
I
off
hoped.
after I wear this.
Want to break the internet, you got to do stuff for victory.
You heard Jones do it.
You gotta do it.
For Az to take his shirt off, I'm a little disappointed.
No, ask can keep his shirt on.
Well, I already showed you my boobies.
This is
Nice
the most
nickel.
I've ever
Let's stick
shown.
something here.
Okay. You're
I
welcome.
thought we might get banned today just for talking to Alex. We might get banned for nudity.
I'm only identifying as woman. I'm not a physical. But why can't women show themselves?
X-ray,
Like,
go
I'm a
check
woman.
the-
It's a
Why
double
can't I show
standard,
you?
Oh
Alex.
no, not the
That's gonna-
Oh,
Weird.
Christy's showing her feet.
Oh,
Look at this.
there are people taking.
no, highlight those dogs.
That's like
I'm not
$20
highlighting.
worth
No,
right there.
highlighting.
Alex, I used to be a foot model briefly. I made
Really?
I
Oh,
he
made
could tell.
$25 an hour.
You have
Yep.
good ankles. You have to have good ankles to be.
Oh
a-
yeah.
yeah.
I have a high arch. You can't
My
really
She's
wife
got
was
the
like the
goods.
big foot, the foot icon. Yeah, I'm not even really a foot guy, but my wife was like the one of the top foot models. Yeah, Little
really.
inside baseball for you. Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
she's got
My wife
arches look
left
like a
me.
table leg.
Wow.
Nice.
I was the world's first male gut. model.
But now this is getting
Target's
down to the
been
real
looking for
thing here.
this.
But here's the deal. I'll have my conservative listeners go, Jones, what are you doing being wild partying? I have a serious show. I promote freedom. Don't target children with stuff. We're making a joke. A dude took his shirt off and a girl showed her feet. Grow up, right-wingers. You're why the left is winning.
Thank you.
Hell
That's
yes.
what I keep saying. Thank you.
Alex is right. That's funny that you bring that up because Jeremy brings it up all the time. I bring it up all the time. The right abandoned a lot of things in our culture. Meritocracy is good. It's something we need to teach people. Centralized power is bad, but you don't teach people by going, stop being a virgin in your mom's basement and playing those fucking video games and
Yes.
stop,
Yeah, it's
paying attention to culture. The left dominates the culture now. And I mean the far leftist nut fucking left now.
Preach, brother.
Yeah.
We don't need right-wingers henpecking good red, white, and blue, red-blooded fun when we got about to have nuclear war with Russia. Focus on the pedophiles trying to get the kids, and then you can bitch that I'm making a joke, taking my shirt off, and a girl showed her feet. Grow up.
Yeah. Exactly.
100%, man.
We need to have, for one, fun. We need to be. That's what the right has been missing. It is they got to really get over this whole fucking boomer thing.
Exactly. The left can't meme, and the right wing can't have fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's
we're-
100% right.
Well, guess what? I ain't right wing. I'm human, and I'm here to live, and that means every damn bit of it. God gave us all to it. And I love it.
Damn straight.
Exactly. Like you talked about how you're not a fan of President George W. Bush, which I thought he was a terrible president, but you labeled like this just Republican, just right-wing nut job constantly. They don't do any research whatsoever. Like this whole right-wing thing has just become such a meme.
It's not
at
even
this
real.
point.
We
So,
just want
it isn't.
populist freedom. I'm a populist that wants basic, standard freedom for everybody. You call that a classical liberal, but a liberal today is a fascist, communist, authoritarian.
And we have to push
I
back
like
against
that.
this shit because there is a reason that over the past 2 decades, the left has taken control of every aspect of the entertainment industry. It's so they
Except
can
Rob Zombie with us tonight, folks.
That's true.
He's not on board with it.
He kind of looks like Stevie Wonder.
A little bit. Get the piano out.
I'm his paler younger brother.
You say we are limited, Nerdrotic? We're limited.
No, I get that all the time.
Imagine some little potbelly leftist when I'm like, oh, I'll show you. I have power.
Video. There you go. Take that, alt-writer. Yeah.
What is it like? Do people say stuff to you in public, like negative? Like, is there any negativity publicly when you're out and about, like just shopping or going to the grocery store or something?
I mean, I shake, no exaggeration, 500 hands before I get a FU Russian agent.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. Now, that's now. When Trump first got elected, if I walked down the street in liberal areas of Austin, people drove by and said FU. So I'd shake 20 hands for every FU. But I don't care. I mean, they're in their own fantasy world about I'm this bad guy. They believe all this out of context stuff. So whatever.
Alex, do you get recognized everywhere you go? Like, do you get recognized like every day, no matter what?
Oh yeah, it's worse than ever. I mean, not bragging. It's like a example of how popular freedom is. I can't go to the grocery store. I can't go to the gym. I can't go anywhere.
He
There'll be
can't
like
even take
20
a
people
shit.
around taking pictures, shaking my hands. Black, white, old, young, gay, straight, everybody. Freedom's super damn popular. I mean, I can go to like trendy restaurants in downtown Austin now. Went out with Sean Stone just like a week ago, and we got mobbed. No one buys Joe Biden and the leftist weird orthodoxy. They see that as like the right-wing oppressive system, which is correct. That's the orthodoxy. That's the oppression.
I mean, that we're the majority. The majority are good, honest people that understand what's going on. They may not have the time to go into all of it, but that's what you're here for.
We're not really right-wing. I mean, I get put in that label, but I was a critic of the wars, a critic of George W. Bush, and a critic of Obama and his thousands killed with drone strikes. And then they just put you in that right-wing category. Well, yeah, I mean, I am pro-gun. I am pro-low taxes. I am pro-America. And I don't want to target the unborn because it's part of a depopulation operation. Do I blame a woman that has an abortion? No. So the whole point is that I'm not who they say I am. So why do I care if some people believe that? And it's a smaller and smaller and smaller group that buy the BS. And I'm not bragging, but for my enemies out there, my food almost always gets bought, whether I'm in New York or Los Angeles or Austin, Texas. people buy my food, my drinks everywhere I go, and they're liberals because they're real liberals. You failed, New World Order. It isn't working. I mean, it's been crazy. All I'm saying is that I've stayed true to my principles of just human freedom and laissez-faire and open society, and the globalists are not, and they're failing.
Absolutely.
And you refuse to stay quiet. You wouldn't let them keep you down.
Yeah, it would have been easy for you to just go off and leave whenever they completely canceled you and removed you from the internet. But you kept going.
Well, I mean,
You
it's
kept
worse
pushing
than
the truth.
that. I mean, there's a lot of inside baseball just came out, and I can't get into all of it because some of it was off record with non-disclosures. But I had the Democratic Party with all these fake lawsuits against me in rigged courts say, just come out against the Second Amendment and we'll drop all this.
Wow.
And we're in meetings at tables with lawyers. And I asked my lawyers, is that illegal? They go, no, not in a mediation. They literally want me to come out against self-defense.
That is ridiculous.
And so it's easy to, once you know how bad they are and that they don't have any humanity and it's all fraud, you don't have any fear anymore. Your only fear is being with those people.
Well, also, it's an admission of the power that you have. Why would they even be saying that to you or even coming up with that unless they recognize the impact that you have and the reach that you have? I
appreciate you saying that, but it's not like I'm even that important. It's like baseball cards for a baseball collector or people that collect Star Wars toys or people that collect cars. To me, I'm just a baseball card that's rare they want. And they're just buying and selling people all day long. I mean, I was told point blank by a major billionaire at one time, the richest man in the world, through their law firms. They said, we won't just take care of all your problems. How would you like $5 million a month?
Whoa.
And I said, let me guess. I'll have to say things you want me to say. They're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be owned by you. And the whole thing I'm doing is trying to stop your social credit score so the general public isn't under this. Do you understand? I'll die for this, not because I'm some hero. I'm like my ancestors that fought for freedom. I don't want to be a slave. So I want to live my own life. And so I don't want to be owned by you. And so that's who these people are. And now separately, I've always been honest with my listeners. I never got big donors, never got big money, I was always small product sales, barely making enough money to fund ourselves. But now there's so many big people that are awake and stuff. I got $9 million donated last month to us. And I've been told by these patriots that are well-known people, I'll leave it at that. They said, Jones, whatever amount of money you need, you got it, don't back down. So I crossed that Rubicon a month ago where finally the cavalry rode over the hill. And I don't know how they knew that I sold my house. I was down like $100,000 in my bank account, which sounds like a lot for people, but for running a big operation, I was broke. And I just said, I'm not stopping and I don't care and I'm not going to quit. I was about to lay off my crew. It was like $9 million, $2 million.
That's
It was
awesome.
like all this money just went boom. And I want the enemy to know that. And then I was told, stay true. We're watching you. Whatever amount of money you need, you're going to get it. And now the enemy is panicking.
Wow.
So what I'm
Alex,
saying is the pendulum kind of
hero.
swung back. Sorry, I don't mean to. Sorry, go ahead.
Salty's
Hold
here.
up, hold
Look
up.
at there.
Wow.
Salty's in the house.
Oh, what's going on, lads?
Husband.
Yeah.
Look at this.
But a lady
Look
was
at this
walking
beard,
out, I
Alex
looked at her.
Jones. You stay away from my beard, son.
We're going to go to Salty in a minute, but I heard a female talk. That's more important.
Oh.
What are you saying?
Silent,
Salty.
saying that
That's
you
your
are a
wife, sir.
hero.
Your wife
Yeah,
that
how
you're
dare
talking
you
about
talk
right
down
now.
your wife?
I am the woman in the relationship.
I was the power ball.
Sorry, we assumed. We shouldn't have
power.
assumed.
Who the fuck
Sorry,
knows what a
ma'am, what
woman
were you
is
saying?
nowadays anyway, you know?
I just need to know what Mrs. Salty thinks of all this. Just, Alex just outing your gay relationship here on Pride Month.
Yeah,
Hey,
she
we'll
was-
get back
she
to
was
Salty in a
excited
minute.
that-
One of the ladies was saying something. When I cut him off. Forget my
Get him on.
husband.
She was just excited that it happened during Pride Month. We don't know when is Latina X History Month, because that would have been the other good time for her to hear about it.
That's in July, I think.
Is that July?
I identify as a lady, so can I talk, Alex?
No.
We'll play
That sounds
Gundam.
like a Hillary laugh.
What the hell is going on? We got Salty Cracker and Alex Jones on a stream together. This is insane.
Nuts.
Holy
Look, the
shit.
Daily
shit.
Mail is about
Goodbye.
to bring it tomorrow. I'm about to have Salty Crackers baby next month. And I just thought I would bring it here.
It's a quarter frog.
I was telling you guys some
Quarter
big
frog,
stuff because I've always told my listeners, hey, I don't have big backers. I don't have big money. In just the last month, it's like the pendulum had kind of swung and stopped, and it's about to swing back. And I'm telling you, There are a lot of people in the power structure that are sick of what's happening. We're not alone, and the cavalry has come. Big stuff's happening.
Hell yeah. I mean, like Salty, I know you've been like one of the most requested people ever. So it took Alex for us to finally get you guys together, which is fantastic.
Hey, we went to
Jones.
Vegas together. After we talked last year, we went to Vegas, we got married. We rode a little swan boat.
This is how Friday Night Tight celebrates Pride Month.
So, Salty, how are things going for you since YouTube was a bitch, basically? How have things been going?
Well, it's thanks so much to Alex Jones for going out there and blazing a trail through this tech jungle that has been created by these lizard people, and watching him take all this battle damage out there. Right when I got onto YouTube, I figured if I ever made any money on YouTube, it was going to be gravy. And I knew that if you were going to speak out against these people, that they were going to come at you. And money's the way that they do it. And so watching people like Alex Jones go out there and be that canary in the coal mine and take that battle damage, YouTube can suck my balls. I don't care about YouTube. It's really no different between now and when we were monetized over there. But we just always knew, my wife and I just, use YouTube to get people off of YouTube. Do what you can on YouTube. Utilize the fact that they've got a tech monopoly and they have all these billions of people that they've tricked onto this platform. Use it as an ad, essentially like an ad for the other platforms that are more stable. And again, all of that you can only do that when you see other pioneers going out there and blazing that trail. So Alex Jones, brother, thank you so much.
Hey, brother, hey, my betrothed, I appreciate
you. Salty put out a great video last night. I watched it on Rumble, by the way, about these mysterious blood clot deaths of perfectly healthy women under 40. It's really strange how it's happening.
We're not allowed to talk about that on YouTube. Let's not discuss the Boston Globe saying record blood clot death, record death ever in the U.S. Let's not discuss it. Okay, please.
Let it be known that Alex Jones was the voice of reason on FNT.
Yeah, seriously. Jones
we're fucked. We might as well
referencing the Boston Globe. I mean, that rag.
Well, let me show you. I got any crew members in the control room? Here's an overhead shot. Do not look at this Boston Globe article, okay? Do not look at this.
Do not look at that.
No.
Do not look at this. Urgent warning to women under 40. Massive rise in sudden killer from blood clots. Do not look at this. Do you understand? Me and my wife, or my husband, Salty Cracker, we took 9 shots together.
Poor Salty.
I will say I'm a little upset because when I was trying to get Salty on, I guess Alex Jones was like, going crazy, singing, taking his shirt off, and I missed all the entertainment. So I'm really
you did get
sad
very
about
excited.
that.
We got to see Alex Jones' boobies. And
I
was hoping Chrissy would challenge him by taking off her shirt.
She would.
I was trying to get a trend going, but
my erection immediately declined.
But you guys have a lot of fun. You ladies have a lot of fun. And down there, Rob Zombie, man. So incredible having him.
Rob Zombie.
I've got a serious question related to ESG stuff. You talked about your bank calling you up and basically saying, you're not welcome here anymore. We've seen that happen to other people, political people as well. Do you think there's going to come a time in the near future, if this keeps accelerating, where people are like, you know what, the electricity company, we don't want to serve you because you said something racist online. You said a bad thing. We don't want Verizon. We're not going to give you a cell phone. Like utilities. Is that where we're headed?
That is what the social credit score of the Davos group is all about. That's their whole game plan.
Oh, God, we're becoming China.
We are. I mean, like, how many places are going cashless now?
It's a
lot. My movie theater here in San Antonio is cashless.
I've heard Salty talk about this on his live streams, and he's 100% right. But it's like there's so much momentum out there, and we have to stick together and keep speaking out. Like, look at the numbers Salty's pulling when he goes live. Look at what FNT's doing. You got Alex Jones, who blazed a trail for all of us. All of us on our individual channels are out there making noise. You got Rakeda getting 100,000 people watching his live streams out there. You got people crushing it all across the board. You got Gina Carano about to come out with a new movie.
That totally scares the power structure.
Yes.
And so they're throwing everything they've got at us right now to try to stay in power. It's not going to happen. Freedom will reign. It's a cult trying to bully us into submission. And it's our human duty, no matter what our political views are, to say no to censorship. And I agree, Trump should run for president against censorship.
Yes, 100%.
Guys, I'm going to go take a piss, and I'll be right back for the final conclusion.
Go.
All right, sounds good.
Salty.
I'm sorry, I threw like just threw this in at you, but he kept asking. He's like, "Where's Salty Cracker, my husband?"
see what?
He just repeated the sentence, so we had to get you on.
How the hell are you, man?
I'm doing great. This is a straight up trip.
Yes.
My wife and I were frantically like, are you gonna go on? I was like, well, I'm nervous and I'm scared. She's like, well, I don't give a shit. I don't want to listen to you the rest of the night going. I could have been on Friday Night Lights. I could have talked to Alex Jones. I could have talked to all of these great people. So no, go do it. I was like, well, I don't even think I have Zoom on my fucking. I'm broadcasting from an aquarium right now because I don't have. I think it probably says Mrs. Salty somewhere because I grabbed her.
It does, yeah.
Hell, Mrs. Salty.
Yeah.
I brought you up at first just to bring you up to Alex, and then Alex started going on this whole thing about you and him have a relationship and you are gay frogs and got married together and all. And it just
stroking your beard.
So
he wants to
finally-
comb your beard every day.
He said you had thick thighs and they saved lives.
Yeah, he was all over you.
Man, it's an honor to have you on. And I
No,
love
no,
everything
it's
you've
an
been
honor
doing,
to be
so.
here. I love all of you guys, man. All of your content is fantastic. Thank you for watching all of this horrible shit. Big love to ass because I wasn't gonna sit through a minute of fucking Batwoman. Thank you so much. I was sitting there going, "This poor son of a bitch got AIDS now for real."
Yeah. I've got terminal cancer, dude. It's too late. Yeah.
Salty's so humble, man. I was talking to Miss Salty on the phone, and then he comes walking in, and I was like, I heard him in the back. He picks up. He goes, "Holy shit!" He says, "My lady's talking to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers," and I'm like, "You're Salty fucking Cracker. Who cares about me? I'm like, you're the legend, not me." And he's like, "No, dude, you are." And I'm like, "It's crazy, But yeah, it's awesome, man."
Yeah, so. No, I'm absolutely just starstruck. I can't even speak. all of your guys' content, it's fantastic. It's fantastic stuff. You guys, especially the production value that some of you guys are putting into your stuff. I'm sitting there going, I better up my game a little bit, Abe. What do you think, brother?
Definitely not talking about me and Jeremy then.
No,
no, yeah.
No, I'm talking about. Look at you. You guys got fucking Crash Team Racing in the background. Stuff like this. Stuff together. I'm sitting there. I'm always going, what game's in the background back there? Oh, I got that. You had something in the background the other day, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta go on eBay and buy that. I haven't played that in like 20 years.
I think what's so crazy about what you've been doing, Salty, is just the audience. And we talk about the audience here a lot. They're the ones that got us to 200 episodes. But you can't go to any chat in our sphere on YouTube without a couple people saying Salty Army, Ray. Like just you see it everywhere, man. And that's a testament to you and the loyalty and the audience you've been able to build. It's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by that. These
they are.
Just savages. They're berserkers.
But that's a reflection of you, brother. Yeah. And
thank you.
And I know the struggle you had, with like when at first with your channel and the monetization and all that. I know. And now I know you like are the type of person to take for granted what you have, but you're crushing it, bro. So
thank you. That's incredible. Wow, that's crazy praise coming from you lads. I'm telling you right now. Oh man, my balls are all swollen. I'm sorry. I'm tonight.
Alex Jones is in for a good night.
What happened? This is crazy. I was on Twitter, so I apologize to the Salty Army berserkers out there. Your restream tonight is going to be all effed. It's just going to be this. We're just going to be this. I'm sitting there. I'm trying to work and find stuff. I keep like Stephanie's putting stuff out there. It's like gay frogs. I'm sitting there going, what is going on in the air? Jerry's out there, crowbar and Salty Cracker into Friday Night Tights. Thank you, bro.
You got it.
By the way, Salty Cracker, polygamy is illegal in most states. We're married. You've got to watch.
To Utah.
Utah.
Well, who's gonna arrest us? We running things now.
That night in Vegas, you weren't betrothed to me.
We good.
Was it a betrothal? I wasn't aware of this.
The night you married Bill Hicks.
I had Alex Jones' DNA tested. I can tell you right here. I can confirm it. I got the documents. He is not Bill Hicks. Stop sending me that
We
shit.
know that right down the corner right there, put him on screen, that Rob Zombie is our baby.
I am. I really am. Secret's out.
I've got a
Oh,
question.
That's gonna get
What
me,
is the
by the way.
Bohemian Grove?
The Bohemian Grove is just like Bilderberg. It's meeting right now in D.C. at the Grand Orient at a place outside Monterey in Northern California in Sonoma County, where the global elites meet and kind of plan all their operations. I'm actually going to go out there this July and cover it. I infiltrated it back in 2000, and so that's what Bohemian Grove is.
Classic.
I'm seeing a lot of
Classic
robes, messianic stuff. I'm very confused.
Well, I don't know, Alex. I mean, you've told the story. I don't know how the hell you got in there, dude. 20 years ago, it was cordoned off. I tried to drive by there one time. I couldn't get near it.
I was very lucky. I had an insider with some passcodes and what the names of the camps were and to say what camp I was in. And then I was only there about 5 hours. I hid under a porch until the sun went down. They said July 25th when they do this satanic, occultic, druidic ritual. And sure enough, it was there and it happened. I got it on tape.
So metal.
Damn. That is amazing.
That is crazy.
Legendary. Because you hear that stuff and you're like, all right, when you see it, when you actually see a big freaking owl like Moloch or whatever the hell it was, mock child sacrifices, it's all for theater though.
And I'm there with about 1,000 men
Just theater.
watching the couple hundred people on the stage. And I think, oh, this is just a joke. And then they were taking it very serious. So it was not a joke. It was very, very serious. Well, I just want to say that it's been great being here tonight. And I want to come back with you guys. And the last time I was on, it was okay, but it wasn't as good as now. And that's when I met my darling.
The love has blossomed.
So, people can find the verboten information, the forbidden information at band.video and Infowars.com. We're on weekdays, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We got Owen Schroyer, the other shows at the vaunted demonic evil Infowars Network. And I want to invite all of you, as I invited my future wife on. He hasn't come on yet.
You said you were the woman.
I want to invite you guys all to come to
your
shows with us.
husband.
Is this a
You
lesbian?
said you were the
situation?
woman.
Come on,
You
we
said
need to
you
know
were the
details.
woman.
No, they say it's a fake Biden. I'm a fake Alex Jones. The real Alex Jones got replaced years ago. You guys didn't know that? This is the gay Alex Jones.
They turned to the freaking Alex Jones game.
It happened with the chemicals.
Started with cloned beef, and then they cloned Alex and made him gay.
We appreciate you being here, man. You're
Thank
a
you.
legend, and we look forward to having you on.
Well,
You go
I
there.
What a
appreciate you
treat.
guys. And Salty, don't you stay out too late tonight. I'm going to leave the light on for you.
I want to hear that clip now that Gary has.
Which one? Oh, I'll eat your ass.
Oh,
You're talking about taking shrooms. I took shrooms to Mike Tyson. I will.
oh, we saw.
There it is. Hang on one more time,
We
Gary.
saw that. Oh wait, here it is.
I'll eat your ass.
Lord, man.
I like thinking about this
There.
stuff.
Legendary, dude. It's been epic having you on, man.
Thanks,
All right,
Ed.
we appreciate you guys. The Mike Tyson interview that's censored is at band.video. Thank
Watch
you
it.
so much. And I want you guys to have a great weekend.
You
Thank
too.
you,
Thanks,
Alex.
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 Take care of
Thanks,
yourself.
everybody.
Until next
Thanks,
time.
good sir.
Bye.
Hell yeah.
We'll
man.
look
Hi,
after you.
Mrs.
We'll look
Jones.
after your wife real good.
Take it easy, man.
Take it easy,
Thanks.
man.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, Alex.
Try to get you out of here. There you go. Alex fucking Jones.
Wow.
Oh,
Now,
crazy.
Salty, you're all. You're like on a white sofa, we're all stood behind you now.
Yeah.
Salty.
that meme is already
Yeah.
out. Just,
Yes. Yes.
it's up. I retweeted.
Well, I know you probably don't have long, Salty, because I know I threw this curveball at you, but you got probably a stream to get ready for, so we don't want to keep.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to stay as long as you want, but I know you probably got to bounce. So
Yeah, no, I hate to be an Alex Jones whore and jump out right away.
You are his wife, so
Yes, you know.
Yeah, I will definitely come back even without Alex Jones and hang out with you, you savages. But
Please.
yeah, tonight I gotta get ready for a show. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for setting that up. That's that blew my tits off. Thank you.
Man, thanks for coming on.
yeah, appreciate
Thank you,
man.
Salty.
Take care. I'll
Have a
talk to
good
you
night,
later.
Salty.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Thanks.
All
God
deep
bless you.
cracker, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Oh,
Epic. And Gundam's still here. High as fuck, too, by the way. So,
The Bohemian Grove.
hey, I promises. Gundam's like, I want to come on when Alex Jones come on. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to come on when I was awake. This time I'm like half asleep. It's like, oh God, I gotta show up and I gotta be on. Holy fucking Christ.
Don't you
The
guys?
hat's back, so it's back to business.
I think it stresses Gundam out when he knows he has to be like on time for something, which
Yes!
just makes him like
Oh my
smoke
God.
a shit ton more.
I've been awake like 2 days.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I slept. You know, like when you're laying down on the floor and you're not sure you're sleeping and the dog's barking and the cat's vomiting right next to you.
Yep.
And you're like, shut the fuck up. I have to hang out with Alex Jones in 20 minutes.
I don't know what that part's like, but the part before that, totally know what it's like. Yeah, where you're like, oh, the cat just threw up. Do I get up and clean it up or keep sleeping?
I was like, well, if the smell doesn't reach my nose, it's cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Like if the window's open and the
Don't roll
breeze is
over
going in
into
a
it.
different direction.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
If you like what I do here, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the videos. It really does help. And if you did this with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.